This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this fine Sunday morning, ready for another edition of Talking Sports Sunday. If you haven't noticed, I'm a lot more excited today than I was last week when my Longhorns got beat down by Georgia. I'm geeked, I'm ready, I'm hyped. I got here this morning excited, ready to talk some Week 13 college football recap and also some NFL action in Week 12. We're here this morning with our man Post Game of the Post Game 86 podcast. How you feeling this morning, Post Game?
Man, feeling really good, man. It was a lot of good games on. I know a lot of us thought it was a down week, but still a good day of football. Some more chaos in college football. How y'all doing this morning?
I'm good. We also got our man SEC Sean, who's rocking the Texas A&M Aggies hat. He already know it's going to be on and popping this week because we got rivalry week coming up. And like our man Adam Trimmer 5 said in the chat, he said F Michigan. I ain't going to say F Texas A&M, but I'm thinking it. How you feeling this morning, SEC Sean?
Really, really good. The dude Adam over there, and the thing is is one of my buddies. Him and I are going to jump on and just do a whole bunch of. He's a big. He knows a lot about soccer, and so we're going to get on and do some World Cup previews and stuff like that too. So we're going to be throwing some of that stuff down on my channel too. But good week for a down week of college football. It was still some pretty good games, but I'm going to take an angle of post game real quick, if you don't mind. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was at home. Back then we was left home when the parents went to work, and don't have nobody in the house, none of that stuff, right? Well, me and my brother, whose name is Sean, also, decided we was gonna have some friends over, and we was gonna be playing, hide and seek, whatever, throughout the house. Well, we was all doing good. We was hiding. I was up in the closet, no big deal. My brother was up in his room under the bed, whatever, no big deal. And then I heard the door open, and I heard one of my friends go, "Got you." And except it was my dad coming home early from work. So he got my dad, but then my dad got us. And if you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay. For sure. Hey, man, listen, there's probably a million stories out there like that because I remember them days, man. I remember them days. Our man Jet Life 902 said, SEC Sean, LSU was supposed to lose that game. You almost called that one.
Told y'all.
And LSU, they got Oklahoma. No, they got Oklahoma this week, man. I wish they could beat Oklahoma. I was getting kind of close on getting my wishes answered. There was no way that Kansas State should not have beat Utah, man. You up 10? What was it like? Maybe 7 minutes left? Maybe less than 7 minutes left? And you give up 2 touchdowns, bro? Come on, man. That can't happen. And then, USC lost, but we thought that was possible. And then Cincinnati didn't give BYU no trouble at all. What I need now is for Miami to get into the ACC championship game so that they can be the representative of the ACC because I can't afford for them to get 2 teams in as a Texas Longhorns fan. I can't afford.
The way I see it right now is the Big Ten is pretty much down to 3 teams getting in.
Yeah, they're down to 3.
The only way they get a possible 4 is if Michigan does beat Ohio State. I don't see that happening. So I see them with 3. I honestly see the SEC getting 5. If Oklahoma wins, mind you, I see them getting 5. And even if they lose, but Vanderbilt beats Tennessee, I think Vanderbilt creeps in. because they'd be 10-2. So there's 8 teams right there. If you take one from the ACC, that's 9. One from the Big 12, that's 10. You got the group of 5 is 11, and then you got the conversation of Notre Dame or Miami. And that's even with Texas beating A&M. I don't see Texas's path to get in.
No, they need some more to happen up there, right there between that 10 and they'll probably move to 15, 14, 15 after probably to 16. 15, 16 after Tuesday, but
y'all were 17, so I've got you up at 14.
14.
Yeah.
What was Georgia Tech ranked?
16. Georgia Tech's done.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's done. Who else?
SMU might be done too, right?
SMU won. They're still entitled for the SMU. SMU beat the hell out of Louisville.
Oh, they beat the hell out of Louisville. Well, Louisville's done, I think. That's what I'm
Louisville's done, but SMU's still in the running for the ACC title. Let's see. Who else lost in front of y'all? Georgia Tech. Was USC in front of Texas? So they're done. You're going to have something like Auburn beat Alabama, LSU beat Oklahoma, Tennessee beat Vanderbilt. You're going to have something like that happen, and I just don't know that you're going to get all 3 of those to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Well, you would also have, I think you would rather have Pittsburgh beat Miami this coming week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You definitely need that. That's a good point, Post. That's a really good. Yeah. You need Pittsburgh to beat Miami. If Miami beats Pittsburgh, there's no way you're going to jump Miami.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was sitting there this morning breaking down some different scenarios with if Texas beats A&M, and I can't see that many upsets happening in 1 week.
Yeah. Yeah, my week was this past week, man. It didn't happen for me. I needed BYU and Utah to get popped, and they got close. Well, I mean, Cincinnati, they didn't really give BYU much of a contest, which I thought they would be able to play BYU a little bit better than what they did.
That running back at BYU is something else.
Yeah.
That's a El Paso, Texas boy. He went off last night against Cincinnati.
Yeah, for sure.
So did that other boy who wears that gold helmet. 8 carries, 178 yards or something. What is a good Lord?
Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think this performance and the ones he's had just all season really, has he probably putting himself in position to be the one player that every voter that votes for the Heisman Trophy has to say, listen, this guy is the best player in college football? I think so.
Absolutely. And one of the factors I think a lot of people aren't talking about is nobody's in love with the quarterbacks this year. Quarterbacks are having a good year, but nobody's kind of separating themselves with those huge statistics that normally secure a Heisman Trophy for a quarterback. And then with you got Sayan, Mendoza, and Reese kind of taken from each other, and the fact that Notre Dame has been so hot and Jeremiah Love just has like highlight reels all season, this Heisman race is going to be really interesting. And I think, you kind of see a media blitz from Notre Dame with Jeremiah Love. They're trying to put him in position to win the trophy. And there's a lot of voters on these podcasts and sports shows who are showing Jeremiah love, a lot of love. And I think he's getting closer and closer to being the favorite. I think he's third in the odds right now.
I saw him fourth. I saw the three quarterbacks, Mendoza, Simpson, Reed, and then Love fourth. That's what I saw. But I can go to a different website and see Love first. I can go to another website and see Love not in the top 5. You know how that goes. You know, that's whoever puts that list together. But Love needs to be in the mix for sure. If not, win it. I mean, Simpson's had down games. Saying not really so much had bad games. But, I mean, Love is doing what he does as a running back. I thought that Love wouldn't really have a chance because I thought he was going to split so much time with Price that it was going to affect him, but it really hasn't. So, you know, to me, Love is if you're giving the Heisman to the best player, I don't see how you can deny him. But, I mean, if this is turning into a glorified quarterback award, then why don't we just call it what it is? I mean, it's supposed to be for the best player in college football, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how you can deny Love for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think when Reggie Bush won it, he won it based on the fact that he had highlight after highlight after highlight. And even though Vince Young was there and he had a really good season, you couldn't deny Reggie Bush's highlights. And I think this is a case for our man Jeremiah Love. You cannot deny his highlights. The guy is not running in 5-yard touchdowns, 3-yard touchdowns, 2-yard touchdowns. This guy is going the distance. 80, you know what I'm saying? 70, 60, 50. You know, his thing is electrifying, man. And I think the knock on those other quarterbacks, or they all had games where they had a down game, or when you look at Julian Sam, you're looking at, oh yeah, well, he's throwing to probably the best 2 wide receivers in college football. He has Jeremiah Smith, who's the best wide receiver in college football. He should have those kind of stats because he's unguardable unless you put 2 or 3 guys on him to blanket him. And I think that's what's going to be the thing that hurts Julian Sand, even though he has that 80 percent completion rate. I think it's still 80. You know, so that's going to be a knock on him. But I really do believe Jeremiah Love and what he's doing, he's made the best case to say, I'm the best player in college football. I should be able to get this Heisman Trophy. Our man FanDuel Zay is saying, do y'all think he has the numbers though? Reggie had damn near 3,000 yards all-purpose yards. 3,000 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, the thing about that is none of the quarterbacks have wowing numbers either. And although he doesn't have like 3K, he does have 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What's he got receiving yards? What are his total numbers? Do we know?
Talking about Smith, he almost had 1,000. Fair to play.
No, we're talking about Love.
Talking about Love.
Oh, Jeremiah Love. Yeah, he's right
Come
there.
on, if you can jump in late, you got to be on point. Come on.
I know he got
introduction, man. You it's rivalry week, man. You know you got a big one this week, man.
No,
Good morning, everybody, man. Sunday morning. I came in. I gotta head out soon. I'm gonna be going to church and everything. But this for FanDuel, y'all know, man. You know.
Yeah. He already know. He already what is it called? Receded, or whatever they call it. When you,
I thought you just had to make a bowl game.
Man, I'm getting
Look,
it out.
Man, y'all gonna beat Florida. Don't y'all play Florida next?
Yeah.
Man, if you lose to Florida, you need to go ahead and cash in your dang FSU alumni membership, friendship, wannabe, whatever it is you got with them, and just find somebody else. Because if you lose to Florida, you don't want to come on here and talk to me because I'm gonna blitz you hard.
You have them type of days, man. Them type of seasons. Nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, it does happen. Trust me. You talking to somebody who can vouch for that. Go see the Jimbo Fisher 5 and 7 era.
Yeah.
Y'all want to know what's scary? Oh yeah, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, let's welcome Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10 to the show. Mossberg, I see you you honoring your word. You got on your Ohio State shirt. You don't feel like your Florida State Seminoles are going to make a bowl game. They got Florida next. They might make a bowl game, and then maybe if they do, you can go ahead and strike a lighter to that shirt on live on TV on YouTube.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate
don't waste your money like that. That's a nice shirt.
Nah, I ain't gonna definitely do that, man. It's actually a basketball shirt, so that's the cool thing about it. Other than that, man, it's good to be here, man. You know, a lot been going on this week, but definitely had to be on stream. I think it's a healthy thing for me, but definitely it's good to see everybody talking this sports as we do, and it was a great weekend. I see you was excited for your Longhorns. Had a couple of teams fall, give you Horns access, and then the Aggies. You know, it's a big week coming up. You know, Notre Dame doing what they do, putting up, I called a 60 burger, and y'all gave us 70. And I said Love could possibly break 2 runs for $150 and have that, you know, before we know it. And he went off for 171. So it was just good to see some of the things I talk about actually come to, you know, even some of the games we called. But just sitting here in this Buckeye shirt, it just don't feel good, man. You know, ready to get this thing off. So hopefully my nose can get this win next week, man. And you know, we can finish off the season strong, especially with a rivalry.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all,
what do y'all think about? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What do y'all think about Oklahoma? They're going to probably beat LSU next week. Their offense, man, is not very good. They get in this college football playoffs. Do y'all think their defense is going to be good enough to slow down whoever they face, and they can at least win one game? Because I'm looking at Oklahoma, and I'm not hating on them because I'm a Texas fan and it's a rivalry with Oklahoma. I just feel like their offense is not very good, and I don't think they're going to win a game in the college football playoffs because their offense is not – it's not good. It's not good.
I could really say something with that. You know, when you lose your quarterback, Oklahoma, when they lost Mateer, kind of reminded me of how they dropped in the rankings, how they did my Florida State Seminoles. If you think about this Oklahoma defense, they actually have, I think, a better run defense than that Florida State team. They're just as good defensively, but they actually have a quarterback. I think this Oklahoma team is dangerous. As I said about Notre Dame, I just think this Oklahoma team is dangerous. They've been battle tested. Of course, they're in the SEC, and we just don't know. You can hang your hat on saying the rush offense is not good or the pass offense, but when you have defense and you have Mateer on the field, that's a difference maker. At the end of the day, they brought him there for that reason, and they're in the right position to make things shake.
Yeah, I'm not as sold on Oklahoma as my homie Mossberg is. Yeah, they play good defense, and Mateer, that team is going to be Mateer or bust if they make it to the playoffs, which is looking like they are, especially if they're matched up against Notre Dame. Notre Dame has to come out to Oklahoma and play that game. I wouldn't trust that Oklahoma team. I wouldn't put any money on them. But as far as the SEC goes, they're a solid team in the SEC. But if you're looking ahead to playoffs and matchups, though, that is not one of the teams I feel like can win it all.
I don't know that they can win it all, but I'm gonna highlight this comment from Zaya. That's exactly where I was going. He jumped it in before I got to talk. If Oklahoma can score 14 to 17 points on offense, they're probably going to win some games. That defense is a national championship defense. And everybody here heard what wins championships? Defense. All you got to do is just score one more point than the other team. And they got a kicker too now. Don't forget that, with his little shorty shorts. They got that kicker. That dude's pretty automatic. So, defense, special teams, just enough offense to get them in field goal. I could see them winning a game for sure in the playoff. 2 or 3, I don't know. I think eventually that lack of offense might catch up with them, and you don't know. I got them. I'd get them. I say they get out of the first round for sure. A lot's going to depend on who they match up with.
Because whoever they match up with, they're going to probably have an offense that can score some points, though. And that's the point I'm trying to make about Oklahoma is whoever they face, they're going to face a team that's in the top 12 who can score some points. Now, maybe if they go up against the ACC champion, maybe, or they might be able to do something with them. But if they let's say they face Notre Dame, do you think they're going to stop Notre Dame's offense, even though they got a good defense, and then Notre Dame on the other side has a good defense? I think they're going to be in some trouble, man, because their offense is just not what a playoff team's offense needs to be at this level when you're playing against these teams who have some high-powered offenses. So, I mean, they might be able to squeeze out a victory with scoring 14 points. I just don't see it. I think it's going to take way more than 14 points to beat anybody in the playoffs, in my opinion. Mossberg, Donnell want to know if you're going to spell out OHIO on the show.
OHIO, man. You want me to? Is that what you want, man? It's rivalry week, man. Listen here, man. For all you Buckeye fans, FanDuel, I love y'all, man. The other day, I was just saying this yesterday. I had the Buckeyes beating Michigan, but these last couple of days, man, being around in the area, university, I ain't even hear it this past weekend like I did the weekend before. So they need to sputter up before I make my pick going over and take it up north, man, because OHIO, Donnell. That's all I'm going to say, man, for you and for the Ohio State Buckeye community and whatnot. But just a big game coming this week. I still haven't figured out my pick is going to change by the day, man. It's a lot going on this week with that stuff, man. Texas A&M. I'm going Longhorns. I'm going to give y'all that pick. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I got to get it out the way, Zay, man. That's all. I'm just getting it out the way now, man. I see the comment roll in.
Let's talk about BYU and Utah in that situation with the Big 12. We already feel like BYU is probably going to be the one who plays Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game. If they beat BYU, which we all suspect that they're going to probably beat them handily like they did when they played them in the regular season. Is Utah going to have a case if they win their last game? They're at 12 right now, which means BYU will probably lose in the championship game. Will they move to 11, maybe even 10, and possibly get in? Or as though both of those teams can go ahead and cancel Christmas because the committee's not going to let them in?
They better enjoy their Thanksgiving meal this weekend. Well, through this week before the weekend get here, because I think that's the closest they're going to get to having a Christmas gift of any sort. I think they both going. The way these other teams are playing is tough. You got some of these other power schools that's given a vow to try to get into this playoff. So I think this weekend, if you lost, and you were some of those higher ranked teams, and we seen the ACC championship last year, how they did a team even playing in the game, what a loss could do. So I think time is up unless it's just a lot of chaos that goes on. Michigan beating Ohio State, Texas beating Texas A&M. I mean, it's so many different things. Georgia Tech beating Georgia. I mean, you'll have to ask for a lot to go on, but I mean, possibility of chaos, yes, but I think it's over for them too. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a tough sell for the committee to get 3 Big 12 teams in the playoffs. That's going to be a really tough sell, especially if teams like Michigan enter the fray. Uh, Texas beats A&M. It's going to be a really tough sell. I just don't see it, fellas. I don't see 3 Big 12 teams getting into the playoffs. Could it happen? I guess so, but that's going to be a really tough sell for the committee to say 3 Big 12 teams belong in the top 12 of the college football playoffs. I don't see it.
What about 2?
2 is more. I guess you could sell it on 2, especially if BYU is up beating Texas Tech in the championship. I doubt that happens. But even if they do, if they just make it to the championship game and they still lose to Texas Tech, who we all believe is the best team in the Big 12, I I think I think it all depends on how the rest of the field shakes out because you can't say no to Michigan if they upsets Ohio State. They went out and upset Ohio State. You can't tell Michigan no. You can't tell Miami no if they win out. So it all depends on how the field shakes out. But they definitely can get 2, 3, no way.
So my understanding, and this is just I need to verify this, and I'll try to do it before like maybe Tuesday. But my understanding is if BYU loses to UCF and Arizona State beats Arizona, Arizona State would leapfrog BYU into the title game because them and BYU didn't play, so it would come down to tiebreakers. And at that point, even Utah would be in the mix because they'd all 3 be tied. So it could be Utah going in with the tiebreaker scenario, depending on how it all falls out. So there's a chance if BYU loses to UCF, they don't even make the title game. And at that point, the Big 12's only getting 1. The only way the Big 12 gets 2 is BYU wins against UCF and goes in and probably beats Texas Tech. That's the only way I see them getting 2. Other than that, that looks like a 1-bid league. Right now, it looks like there's a potential that the ACC gets 2. If Virginia wins the championship and then Miami slips in. So there's all kinds of little tiebreak scenarios if BYU loses to UCF, which, okay, let's be real, they shouldn't. Okay, but if they do, it gets crazy over there. But that's the best case scenario for Robert would be Utah losing to Kansas and BYU somehow losing to UCF. But
what if BYU loses in the championship game? Do you think they're going to have enough to be able to make that? Because they would only have those 2 losses against Texas Tech. Do you think the committee will love them enough to put them in?
Well, remember, committee's already said they're not going to hold conference championship game losses against you. So if BYU is in the field and loses that game, then it's a matter of do they kick them out? And exactly like Zay, I was just going there. Exactly. It depends on how they look. If they get blown out, probably. But if they say Tech kicks a field goal to win the game at the end of the game, I think if BYU, if they're in, they're in. And I think that's just all there is to it. If it's a close game. I'm going to tell you the craziest team to watch right now. And they're based out of Denton, Texas. North Texas,
Yeah.
that team's scary.
That's why I don't think BYU, a team like them, they will have to put up like 50 or 60 points. Like they will have to get points. in order to get in the in the playoff at this point.
Well,
if they have that situation that goes on.
Let me lay it out for you a little different as to why this team is really freaky. If this team stays together, I'm just going to tell you, their quarterback is a freshman. In yesterday's game, they had 4 different people carry the ball for rushing attempts. They're all freshmen. They had 7 people catch the ball. 2 are seniors and 1 is a junior, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. If that team stayed together, dude, they're going to be nasty next year too. But, yeah, their guy Caleb Hawkins is a freshman running back from somewhere in Oklahoma. He set the school record for rushing touchdowns in a season as a freshman. Their quarterback is on pace to shatter the all-time freshman passing record in the NCAA. And he was a safety in high school.
And then my question would be with them being young and being freshmen, do you think their chance of staying at that school for the next 2 years is possible with Niv?
I don't know. If the coach stays, I don't know. They might.
Yeah,
If they stay in the playoff this year and that coach stays,
they're after that coach.
oh, they are after that coach.
After
But
that
if he stays and that team stays together, how cool. I mean, if you're North Texas, how crazy would it be for you to go to the playoff this year with all these young dudes, come back next year, go to the quarterfinals? They build statues for that whole entire team.
Yeah.
I just saw the ages of those kids and was like, wow. Like the receiver, Wyatt Young, 8 catches, 295 yards.
Oh,
Yeah. That North Texas game, I was keeping up with it yesterday. They some dogs.
are they going to play Tulane for the conference championship?
Yeah,
More
they
than
run
likely,
like this. They run that hybrid. Like, it's like a hybrid spread. Then they have a little mix of the RPO. But they move that ball, the hurry up, the movement, and it's good to see a team like that. Like seeing North Texas, Tarleton State, some of the teams we've seen this year play very well. Within their conference. That division, I think, it's been pretty good this year. And I think it's just showing what the portal could do. But as well as this young cream of the crop that we starting to see, over the sports world as well. We got some great young players, man, coming in, and they playing and they hungry. So, for some of the elders that's playing, juniors, seniors, they got to be able to be ready and step their game up because these young guys is ready to play, man. That's one thing I can say I've seen a lot of this year.
Well, there's no way for Navy to get in.
Yeah, Navy should be able to.
If Tulane wins, then they get in.
Got you.
Yeah.
If Tulane and North Texas win next week, they would clinch because let me look at this because Tulane and Navy didn't play, so there might be a pass for Navy to slip in above Tulane. Let me look real quick. North Texas, if they win, of course, they're in because they own the head-to-head over Navy. Tulane did not play Navy. So, but I'll be honest with you, Tulane's not losing. They're playing Charlotte. They're
He
playing
said only
Charlotte.
if both of them lose can Navy get in.
Yeah, that is true. If both of them lose, then and Navy would have to beat Memphis too.
Yeah. That's going to be a tough task.
The problem is Navy's got the hardest game at the end with Memphis. Tulane has Charlotte, who's god awful, and North Texas has Temple. I don't see North Texas losing. I don't see Tulane losing. Again,
Yeah,
it's
that's
college
gonna be
football.
tough.
We don't know. These are 18 to 22-year-old kids. They could choke up and something go wrong. But I'm going to tell you right now, on my little site I use, Tulane and North Texas are going to be on my little ticket this weekend.
I just got a couple minutes before I get out of here. Was there anything that you was about to say? I was just going to ask you guys a question for this rivalry week before I got out
No,
of
go
here.
ahead and ask it. I'll say what I want to say after that.
Man, it's rivalry week, man. We can't get enough about talking about it. FanDuel Zay, I know you in the chat, man. So my thing is, will we see Tate? Will we see Smitty from O Block practicing in the next couple of days, preparing for what we all know is coming this week? You know, I just think about that. Notre Dame's greatness that they've been showing and excellence into another great win streak. The faith that you've been showing in your Texas Longhorns and the excitement I seen when I seen the show starting. So I think some of the things we've been seeing this year is a statement to greatness, as well as the Aggies doing what they're doing, being undefeated, coming in and, you know, playing Texas. We haven't seen this type of game in years. So I think, you know, the momentum is building day by day, you know, for me, as well as just in general. And some coming things as well with Level Up Sports 10. I've locked in a conversation with Amari Mallory, Dominique's son. We're in the talks of making that date happen and bring some things. Hopefully, we could bring a decision as well of what school he'll be going to coming this fall as well. You know, just still in talks with that, but definitely will have that this week, along with some other things. But just a few things that was on my mind outside of that with, you know, Smitty and Tate as well.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Moss, before you leave, with it being rivalry, I know you going with that weird ass color up there that Robert's got on. I don't even speak of that color. I don't even allow that color in my house. Orange allowed in my house. But since I've lived in Ohio for the past 5 years, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you from this day forward, 11/23, the year of our Lord 2025, we are now going to be known as the Texas A&M University.
I like the way you said that.
And let me just tell you something. We run Texas.
Ooh.
Interesting.
On the second Tuesday of every month.
Well, that's okay. Y'all got every second Wednesday of the week.
Man, here we go.
FanDuel was saying that Smitty could have played this week if he wanted to. He's not sure about Carnell Tate. What is Carnell Tate's injury? If you could tell us that, Smitty, we'd love to know that. What's Carnell Tate's injury? And he was saying that Smitty hates that team up north, so he's going to be out there balling. So I'm looking forward to that game as well. Yeah. As far as Texas and Texas A&M, the thing that Texas does horribly defensively is what Texas A&M does out of this world offensively. They're probably going to be killing that secondary. I hope we got a game plan for them. But the thing that I do like about this game is the fact that A&M has given up points to teams. And if Texas can handle the exotic blitzes that Texas A&M is going to throw at them, maybe Arch Manning can get some guys the ball in position to run after the catch. But them guys got to catch these footballs, man. Last couple of games, they've had a lot of drops. We can't afford to have no drops against Texas A&M. And we got to shore up that thing on the back end. Otherwise, Marcel Reed is going to kill us. And hopefully we get Anthony Hill back next week. That can help us out a lot, too. But we'll talk more about that during the week because we got to talk about this all week.
All week. It's not going to stop all week. I'm going to be in the comments trying to pull some strings and get some things going, get a few people in here for their respective teams as well. But on the flip side, I'm about to get out of here. It was just good seeing everybody, man. Appreciate the support through this crazy week, long week that I've been having. Of course, I'm back to work tonight, so I'll just be in the chat the rest of the day for the most part.
All right, cool. We appreciate you, bro.
Oh, no
Peace out,
doubt, man.
Moss.
Peace,
All
man.
right.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Be good.
So what do y'all think about the possibility of, let's talk a little bit of SEC and their desire to get 5 teams in. Tennessee plays Vanderbilt. Can they upset Vanderbilt? And Auburn and Alabama play in their rivalry game. What's your thoughts on those two teams, Alabama and Vanderbilt, possibly still vying for a playoff spot? Can either one of those teams get upset? Can both of those teams get upset? And which one is more likely to happen between the two?
Yeah, I think both teams can get upset. The Alabama Auburn being, such a rivalry game, and then Pavia for Vanderbilt, man, that kid can ball. Um, Tennessee, they don't. I don't even know if they practice defense, man. Um, I can see him carving up that defense. Um, Tennessee will be able to score with him, but Pavia makes, a player or two more to seal the victory and keep their name in that playoff hunt. Um, Tennessee and or Alabama and Auburn, I, man, the way Deuce Knight looked yesterday, you know, I hate that, that was Marcus Freeman's baby. Marcus Freeman would have him on the sideline with him at camps, and he was a commit to Notre Dame. He decommitted and went to Auburn, but man, that kid can play. I mean, wheels for days. I can definitely, if Alabama finally wanted to run the ball yesterday, but you know who they play, so really didn't matter. But if they can't run the ball against Auburn and Auburn can run the ball, Alabama can get popped. That's for sure.
Alabama, Deuce Knight looked really good. I ain't even gonna lie. Now, it was against Mercer, so let's pump the brakes a little bit, okay? Alabama's going to be a different animal. It's at home. It's at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Crazy things happen in that stadium in this Iron Bowl. I'm going to tell y'all, the kick six, Jordan-Hare Stadium. The 4th and 31, they called the Gravedigger play. Alabama to save their season against Auburn, happened at Jordan-Hare. There's just crazy things that go on in that stadium in this game. Auburn's got the defense to make Alabama one-dimensional, which if you make Alabama one-dimensional, you have to make them one-dimensional and get pressure on the quarterback. Auburn's got the defense that can do that. That D-line is pretty nasty for Auburn, okay? Alabama can be got in the running game. They've given up some explosive runs. It's going to depend on who they play at quarterback. There's talk that they're going to go back to Daniels because this will be the last game he can play. This will be the 4th game, I think. So then he could keep his red shirt and still play in the playoffs, by the way. That's what I don't like about that rule. But if they go, I think Deuce Knight gives you the best chance to beat Alabama. So Alabama can get beat. Yeah, for sure. I don't see any way Oklahoma loses to LSU. I don't see that happening. And this is just thought process for Rob's Longhorns. What was the other SEC? Oh, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. It's at Tennessee. I don't know. That's going to be a shootout.
Shootout.
Vanderbilt can beat them for sure. It's going to depend on what Tennessee wants to do. Does Tennessee go into that game? Okay, whatever. We're not going to the playoff. Let's just finish out the season. Or do they go in there thinking, Vanderbilt has a shot at the playoff, and we want to end it for them. So either one of those, I mean, both of them, Alabama and Vanderbilt could get quote unquote upset this week.
Yep.
The worst thing that happened for Texas was Tennessee beating Florida, because that's going to move Tennessee up in the rankings. And if then Vanderbilt beats Tennessee, it's going to look like a better win, unless y'all beat A&M, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, there was 3 or 4 points between you and Texas. And I don't know if they're going to take a 10-2 Vanderbilt over a 9-3 Texas, even though you have the head-to-head. I don't know how they're going to play that out.
To answer your question, Rob, I would say I think Alabama is in more trouble than Vandy. Looking ahead for me, and like SEC Sean said, I know Auburn didn't have a great opponent, but man, if they go with Deuce, man, those Russian quarterbacks can tilt any game. That's why they're such a cheat code. So I would say Bama would be more on the hot seat as far as the upset this coming week.
Yeah, Auburn has the best, I believe, best rush defense in the SEC. And they might have one of the best rush defenses in the country. They don't give up a whole lot of rush yards, and Alabama, they don't rush the ball really well. So they're going to definitely be able to make Alabama one-dimensional. Can they get pressure on the quarterback, Ty Simpson, and throw him off, and can they cover well in the back end? I think they have a really good chance to make this game very, very interesting and could possibly win it. I think they got the best chance between them and Tennessee upsetting Vanderbilt, because we know that's going to be a shootout. We know that thing is going to be them teams. Both of them teams might be in the 40s for sure. And whenever you got a shootout like that, it can go either way. So, but I think Pavia, man, the way this guy is playing football right now, bro, I would not bet any money against Diego Pavia. That dude, man, is electric. And they got a scheme that they run with him that if you don't have solid guys in the back end, he going to pick you apart. He threw for nearly 500 yards yesterday. He had over almost 400 yards against Texas. I think he's a nightmare, man. The thing that I think that can help Tennessee, though, is the fact that Vanderbilt's offensive line isn't that good. Their tackles aren't that good. So maybe they can scheme up some stuff and try to keep Diego Pavia in the pocket. But if they let those tight ends get off on them, they're going to have a long day, because those tight ends got off on Texas and yesterday. So hopefully they both can win, because that's what I'm counting on. And, of course, we got to win our game against Texas A&M.
Well, do you guys think this is a year? I know the Heisman ceremony, there's normally 3 or 4 guys. Do you think there's 5 invites this year, considering how Pavia is playing?
I really do believe that if you really want to be fair with it, man, and you really want to get the best bang for your buck, you got to have 5 guys there, man. I think Diego Pavia, his story, the way he's been playing, I mean, you just do it for GP, man, just for the atmosphere to be even better. You know, I think you got to invite him there. Is he going to win it? Probably not. But the fact that he would be there, his story, where he came from, how he got to Vanderbilt, he's at Vanderbilt doing it in the SEC at that, I think he should be there. FanDuel Zay is saying Sands, Smith, Love, Rodriguez, and Mendoza should be the 5 that get to go there. He didn't put Diego Pavia in there, which, I mean, I like that 5 too. What's Can you put Jeremiah Smith's numbers in there, or do you think he's getting there and it has nothing to do with the numbers? FanDuel Zay. But you can go ahead and answer post-game's question, Sean.
Yeah, I was looking up. Sorry, I got tied in looking up some. I'll throw them out at the end. Some spreads, early spreads for next week's game for a rivalry week. I don't even remember the question.
Do you think that there's 5 invites to the
Oh yeah,
Heisman ceremony?
easy. You could probably go out to 8 or 9 this year. I mean, seriously. I mean, if you really want to think about it, you could probably go out that far.
Yeah, you right.
Look at Zay.
You right.
Everybody, you got Zay's list there. Sayin, Smith, Love, Rodriguez, Mendoza. That's 5. We're leaving Pavia off, who could be in it. You're leaving Reed, who could be in it. I mean,
Haynes King.
Well, after last night, I think he kind of shot himself in the foot. Even though he's at a group of 5. I mean, what about this quarterback from North Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different people you could put in there. Now, I mean, I get he's a freshman too from there, but I mean, and he plays in the but still, Sayans put up numbers: 69 catches, 102 yards. And this is the best player award, not the best quarterback. We have an award for the best quarterback. We have an award for the best running back. We have an award for the best wide receiver. Yeah. This is supposed to be the best player. I mean, Travis Hunter won it last year, right? I think everybody can agree he was the best player in college football, right?
Yeah.
Manziel won it when he was a quarterback. He was probably the most electric player in college football that year.
Yeah.
Love, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like what Rodriguez is doing out at Texas Tech for a defensive player. I think that's something we don't see enough of anymore. Is pure defense, not the two-way player, but just a defensive player. You take Rodriguez off that Texas Tech team, and how good is that defense? Is it the same? How many steps does it take back? So, I don't know. That's just kind of my thought process on it is if until it's a actual award for the best player, then it's just kind of another ceremony. I don't even think I've watched the Heisman ceremony in years just because it's just like it's a foregone conclusion. You pretty much know who's going to win it. This year could go to numerous people, so I may watch it this year.
I don't know. I think, and if y'all got insights on this, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember in recent years where there's been this much hype and buzz. And you add the social media element to college football. I can't remember a year where there's been so much buzz on college football.
No, you're probably right. It's probably gotten a little more this year for sure. I think the difference in it between this year or even the past couple of years and in the previous 10 to 15 years is you've got more parity now. You've got teams like Vandy, who is a typical bottom dweller in the SEC. We all know this, but they're sitting at 9-2 or whatever it is now. So that whole fan base is now engaged further into the season. North Texas, at the beginning of the year, there was like 40 people at one of their games. Now they're packing that place out because it's almost December and these teams are relevant. It's not like, season's over, play basketball. These teams are still relevant that are used to not be. I mean, Indiana was always a bottom dweller in the Big Ten, right? But look at them in the past couple of years. Now that fan base is engaged. So I think parity and the transfer portal, which I still am not a fan completely of the way it's done, but I think that stuff has spread out the talent around the nation that where more fan bases are engaged more deeper in the year.
Yeah, you got to think about it. There's drama on who's going to be in, who's going to be out. There's drama on the Heisman vote. Who's going to win, who's not going to win. I can't think, I'm always locked in, but I can't think of a time where, like you just said, these many fan bases are engaged this late in the season.
there's so many freaking variables to college football nowadays. You got NIL, you got transfer portal, you got 12-team playoff, you got the way the season is going, you got all this coaching carousel drama, you got you name it, you got it in college football, man. They got so many storylines out there that it has to have the kind of buzz that it has. You know, Van Duzen said, I'm biased because I think about college football all year round. And we've been able to, since we've been doing this, we've been able to talk about college football for an entire year. We never took a break from talking about college football because you go from the season to thinking about the portal to recruiting right into freaking spring ball and all the things that's going on in spring ball, injuries, who's looking good, who's not looking good, who's not picking up the system, to going into the summer where you got summer workouts and who's trying to find their way onto the team, who transferred later on because they decided they wasn't going to play this year in spring ball, and another window opens up and they get to transfer out for fall. It's always something to talk about in college football, man. We also had the daggone story about coaches trying to have inter-squad scrimmages and stuff like that, which you know that topic is going to come back up again once spring ball comes around. It's always something to talk about in college football. It's always in the news. It's always a relevant sport, man, and I love it because once we started doing this, we wanted to have something we could talk about all the time because we didn't always have the knowledge about baseball, which we got a little bit more knowledge now because we got SEC Sean here who's like football, who likes hockey, who likes NASCAR racing. So now we can get up to speed on those sports as well. But I think college football just has so many different dynamics, so many different topics, so many different variables that it's exciting all year round.
Well, and you ain't even mentioned one other thing that makes it crazy this year. How many coaches been fired?
Yeah, that coaching carousel.
When was the last time you had this many coaching spots open in the middle to the end part of the season?
Yeah. And we know there's probably going to be about another, 3 or 4 more probably.
Possibly. What they made a comment on a show I was watching yesterday and said that Lane Kiffin, even though they was on a bye week, he got mad as hell because Diego Pavia's mom was getting talked about and he wasn't.
Yeah, well, you know, he said Steve Spurrier was one of his mentors, I guess, or something. So he sort of took on Steve Spurrier's sentiment, I guess, because he acts a lot like Steve Spurrier, especially with some of his comments.
For sure.
Let's talk a little bit of NFL before we get ready to wrap it up, because I know I got to get out of here in a minute. What are y'all looking forward to seeing today? We're going into week 12 of the NFL action. Who's starting to solidify themselves as some of the front runners, and who do y'all think will probably be the player of the year in the NFL?
Well, you can look at so many different storylines and scenarios headed into this week. I think the biggest game of the week will be Kansas City and Indianapolis because people want to know if Indy is legit. I think they're legit. People want to know if Kansas City can pull themselves back up out the mud and become contenders with as much talent as they got on that offense. Philly and Dallas is really interesting. I think Dallas defense is coming along, and you parlay that with that offense. We all know that offense can move the ball and score, but if that defense can get up to par, can they steal that NFC East away from Philadelphia? So that Philly and Dallas game is going to be huge. Can Tampa Bay stay relevant with all the injuries? They've been hit with injuries hard, but they still got a chance. They got a big game today. The player of the year, in my opinion, has to be Jonathan Taylor. and we talk about, you know, the Heisman. Is it a quarterback award or are you giving it to the best player? Same thing for the NFL MVP. Is it a quarterback award or do you want to award the best player in football? The best player in football, hands down, has been Mr. Jonathan Taylor. That team ride or dies on Jonathan Taylor. I know Daniel Jones has had, you know, a resurgence and he's played well in some games, but Jonathan Taylor, you take him off that team, the Colts are not even in discussion. So, and then that division is going to come down to Houston and Indianapolis. You know, Houston defense looks scary right now. So there's a lot of storylines, a lot of injuries. So again, Dallas and Philly, huge game today.
Yeah, Dallas and Philly's always anytime. I mean, the NFC East has so many rivalries in it that, you know, but that's always a big game. You know, and then you hear some of the stuff with the locker room stuff with the Eagles going on. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm actually, I mean, my Bengals are probably going to get blown out by the Patriots, just because it seems to be what we do. I'm actually curious about watching as bad of a game as it is, the Browns and the Raiders. I just want to see if Shador gets more comfortable, you know, against the Raiders. That's just kind of what I'm looking at. I'll be off and on with NFL today. I got a lot going on. Got to get ready, starting to get packed up for the trip down. But I'll probably have it on in the background while I'm doing stuff, just listening to it, keeping an eye on it. But that's probably what I'm more interested in this week. Still hard for me to get into the NFL until college gets really off or the NFL gets really into the playoffs. I'm just so locked in on college football right now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Shador Sanders does today as well. And I know that in our chat that we have, I'm quite sure that T1 is probably going to be letting us have it either way, whether it's good or bad for Shador. He's going to let us have it either way. So we know that chat is going to be buzzing when he's watching that game. But I'm anxious to see what he's going to do. He's got all the first team reps this week. I think it's time that he had his chance to play. I think we thought he would have gotten his chance a little bit earlier in the season, but it's better late than never. I want to see how well he does out there. I want to see if the Kansas City Chiefs can keep up with the Indianapolis Colts, or are we at a point where it's a changing of the guard and Kansas City needs to start looking at doing something different than what they have been doing to get back relevant again? I think they got some really good wide receivers, but I think some of them have been banged up. Is it time for them to find another tight end to replace Travis Kelce? Has he gotten to the point where he just is not the guy anymore? Are they going to get that defense together? So I'm anxious to see how that game goes. And I want to see if the Dallas Cowboys defense can slow down the Philadelphia Eagles offense. They made some adjustments defensively. I believe they got the Marvin and Overshown back, along with the other linebacker they got out of Cincinnati and some other pieces on the defense. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to look like with a solid defense and a good offense out there on the field. So I'm looking at those couple of games to see how it goes. Now, will I be sitting in front of the TV all day? No, I got things to do. So I won't be doing that, but I will be chiming in here and there. Before we wrap up, though, go ahead, postgame.
No, I just want to add real quick. Shador Sanders, that's going to be huge. I know a lot of people have their eye on him. You know, he gets a week with the first team. He takes all the first team reps. This is your time to shine, young man. This is your time to prove the doubters and the haters wrong. You know, so I'll have my eye on that game as well.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, man, what's your favorite side dish during Thanksgiving?
All of them.
He said all of them. Well, what's your 5 that you fit on your plate? Because I know you got all 5 of them on your plate.
I actually do the green bean casserole for our family. I make it for our family every year. So I got to go with that one because everybody requests that I make it. Yeah, I mean, the biggest question is, do you want stuffing or dressing?
Man, I don't eat neither one.
See?
But but when I did eat meat, I did like dressing better. The cornbread dressing I like better.
My wife makes it in the crock pot.
Really?
Yeah, I'm with SEC Shine on this. It's too many to choose, you know, depending on which family member brings what. I think every separate household has a specific dish that they bring that's a hit. I mean, you can go to dressing, you can go to angel A's, you can go to the collard greens, you know, the of course the macaroni and cheese is definitely elite. You can go so many different ways, man, but I gotta say this, man. If you still baking your turkey in the oven, no. You gotta fry that bad boy. And to fry it, you gotta know what you're doing because you can definitely blow up the house.
Yes, you can.
Wait a minute now. I agree with the fried, but I've been known to do a pretty mean smoked turkey. You put it on my smoker.
Oh yeah. I can't forget that too. Smoked or fried. The oven, you doing it wrong in
Right.
2025. You either gotta fry that bad boy or you gotta smoke it. The oven, that's 1986. We in 2025.
But everybody needs to realize this. If you ask to bring something to the Thanksgiving, you good. If you ask to bring ice, it means you can't cook.
That's a fact. My
Ice
man,
is on paper products. You already know what it is.
yeah, the drinks, the desserts, you know you can't cook. My man Fan Duazea in the chat said chitterlings. No sir.
Listen, Fandosia, bro. It's 2025. No one in the world should still be eating chitlins, bro. Nobody should be eating chitlins in 2025. Come on, man. Donnell said oyster stuffing back in the days. I never had that. And as many times as I ate over at y'all's house down there, maybe I did eat it and just didn't know what it was. As many times I know that I ate over their crib, man, I'm quite sure I probably had it, but just didn't know what it was, man. For me, I usually have a plate full of a bunch of starches. I have a whole bunch of mashed potatoes, a whole bunch of mac and cheese, and if somebody made something with some rice in it, I was probably eating that too. But green beans and cabbage is another go-to for me as well. I eat greens, but I'm not a huge fan of greens. But I mean, I will eat them if they're there. I'll eat some yams if they're there, but I'm not a huge fan of yams or sweet potatoes. So,
I'll give y'all
I'll indulge though.
I'll give you a fun fact about Post. I hate yams. I hate yams with a passion. But sweet potato pie, that's a whole nother story. I will not touch no yams, but sweet potato pies, if the right person bake it, I'm on it.
Man, I got a homie who his wife Leandra makes the greatest sweet potato pie I've ever eaten in my life. I mean, listen, everybody who knows them requests that she makes them a sweet potato pie. People come to her house just for the sweet potato pie, bro. That's how good it is.
Look, I don't even need the bird. I don't need none of that. Just give me the side dishes, just enough. And then somebody please line the dessert table up. I mean, just make that thing full. I don't care about none of the. In fact, we can skip the main meal. Let's just go straight to the pie.
I know that's right.
I want pumpkin. I want pecan. I want some cheesecake. So that way there, I can kick back with the football game, go into a food coma, and then wake up later on and be good.
Man, listen, it's a day that you can just eat almost all day long. As soon as you get any space in your belly, you throw something else in that empty space, bro. All day.
It's the one day for everybody out there that's worried about weight and dieting, that they don't count. Calories don't count on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
No.
eat.
I'm gonna tell y'all one more thing. That banana pudding my auntie make, not even close. I haven't touched anything like that in my life. She doesn't even use the vanilla wafers. She used the Lorna Dooms.
Oh my God. I heard
Oh
that they
my
make a
goodness, man.
better, I heard that they make a better banana
Now,
pudding.
now, Rob, you talk about something that make you smack your mama.
We have a friend of ours. Well, I don't know. We've met her a couple of times back down in Texas. She made some. I noticed the Babbitt. It was at a funeral, but she had made some food for the food afterwards, and she made banana pudding. And I was like, man, this is so. She uses coffee creamer.
Interesting. Instead of
Then
milk.
I was, yeah, just coffee creamer, and I was like, wow, okay. My dumb ass would probably buy some hazelnut creamer on accident though and screw it.
Right. Fat Dozan, we trying to ignore you with that chitlin talk, man, with the red bucket and the hog mogs, bro. We trying to, you know what hog mogs is, right? You know what that is, right? I hope you know what that is, bro. Do your thing, though, man. Enjoy yourself. Put some hot sauce on it for me.
Y'all, before we jump out, y'all want to let me give you some quick early lines for some of the big games this week. Texas A&M favored by 2.5. Utah favored by 13.5. Georgia by 13.5. I ain't worried about Indiana. 30-point favorite. Let's see. Ohio State favored by 11.5. Oklahoma 10.5. Tennessee 3.5 over Vandy. And Alabama 3.5 over Auburn. So those are just some of the early lines.
You got the Oregon and Washington line?
There's not one right now.
Okay. All right, cool.
But the lowest ticket price that you can get into the Texas A&M game is $400 right now.
Really? But it's way up there at the top, ain't it?
Yeah, you might be on like a ladder above the stadium. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Because I looked at tickets because there's a certain seat that I want every time I go there, and I looked at that seat. And last year when I went to the Kentucky game, I got 2 tickets right there for a little over $700. So it was like 3 something a piece for the Kentucky game though. So I looked for those same seats. They were over $4,000 for those same 2 seats. I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do
it. Zay asked about North Texas Temple. There's not a line on that one. Memphis is favored 5.5 over Navy. And there's no Charlotte Tulane line yet. By Tuesday, I should have those lines. But right now, they're just too early. So that's what you're looking at right now for some of the games that have playoff implications coming up. So,
yeah. Donnell, sometimes, man, I wish that I could take my mom in the kitchen, man, and give her the ingredients and see if she could still make some of the stuff that she used to bake back in the days, man. She probably would be kind of nervous about cooking because she's kind of scared of the stove and stuff now and stuff like that because she's, scared she'll forget. But, man, I wish I could duplicate some of those desserts she used to make back in the days, man. My mom would literally, every Sunday, we would have 4 cakes, 8 pies, We would have donuts. My mom would make all kinds of stuff, man. I miss those days, man, because nobody took on that task of learning how to bake. And so now we got to buy store-bought stuff, which is it's not the same.
No, you got to go see Patty, Rob.
Yeah, I guess so. Or Miss Leandra, either or. Yeah, I agree with you, FanDuel said, but I used to be down in the kitchen with my mom. That's how I learned how to cook. I just didn't learn how to bake. She would only let me beat the cake after she had all the ingredients in there. She didn't tell me what to do. I only was down there mixing the cake mix. But I need to figure it out, man, because I miss that stuff for sure. But everybody out there in the chat, man, tune in all week. Turn your notification on because we're going to be going a little bit more often than what we normally do. It's Customers Rivalry Week, and we want to try to get as much content in as possible. We want to have a show where we just got the Ohio State and Michigan guys on here doing their piece. And then, of course, we got our man SEC Sean, who's a Texas A&M fan, me being a Texas Longhorn fan, and our man Doug. We would like to get him in here as well so that we can talk that rivalry game between Texas and Texas A&M, along with, our normal shows that we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hopefully we can get the 12 rows to a title on Monday, and also do another show, maybe even Thanksgiving morning if everybody's able to jump on real quick, just so we can recap maybe what's going to happen in the NFL on that day, and if there are any other college games. Because I don't think we're going to go Thursday evening, but we might be able to get something in Thursday morning. But keep your notification up so that you can be in tune on when we're going to go live. I appreciate y'all for making it this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get some yard work done if you can. Hang out with your family. Pack SEC Sean so you can make that nice road trip to go see your family. And hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.
Y'all be good.
Yeah, FanDuel said we're going to try to get in contact with Big Ron, so he can come on too. Maybe Kevin Bird too for Michigan. Yeah. I
may even see that dude that spoke earlier, Adam. He's a huge Buckeye fan, of course, so I may see if he wants to jump in. But it's gonna be a good week. And let me know, Zay, about this week with the 12 rows. Let me know what you want to do, and we'll work it out.
All right, cool. Everybody have a good one. Peace.
Peace, guys.
There we go.